Hey, what's up, guys? When I was in school, I had a friend with a great voicemail greeting. Best I can remember, it was something like, "Hi, this is Eric. If you're from Visa, I already sent the money. If you're my parents, please send more money. If you're a salesperson, I have no money. If you're from student aid, you didn't lend me enough money. And if you're one of my friends, you likely owe me more money. But if you're a female, don't worry, I have plenty of money." Okay, so we all have a complicated relationship with the phone, right? In last week's message, I suggested that people don't trust information nearly as much as they trust relationships, and that it'd be a good idea to reach out and talk to people in your database. Well, if that made sense to you, then you also see a silver lining in our culture's ongoing information wars. The better you become at building relationships, the easier business becomes for you. So, in a professional context, what's the best way to build a relationship? The answer is to dial the phone number. Now, before you prejudge this as a message about cold calling, listen up. When I think about the people I have the strongest and most durable relationships with in business, the people I regularly speak with on the phone immediately jump to mind. In fact, even people I speak with only 3 to 4 times a year come to mind before others who I interact with much more often online. And I'm confident most of you would recognize the same pattern in your own world. Letting someone hear your voice is the best thing you could ever do to thrive in sales. And put simply, talking to people builds relationships, and relationships build trust. And because of the high information, low trust environment we're in, those of us who are willing to dial the phone number will have all the business we need. Now, I'm not suggesting you ignore digital marketing and communication, but I am saying that not calling people regularly will make business much harder than it needs to be for you. Do you remember this spring when the coronavirus lockdowns hit? People were so bored they started calling each other. It was amazing. And even better, we started FaceTiming. But now, really other than Zoom calls for meetings, that trend has fallen off. And this week, news broke that we may have a COVID-19 vaccine on the horizon, and I sense a rush to get back to normal. So whatever normal is, I encourage you to make the use of the telephone a part of your normal. Don't let yourself be convinced that there's something wrong with calling someone out of the blue. Clearly there isn't, because we just did it en masse during the spring. But as soon as I put this in a business context, I get resistance. For example, I recently met with a bright young man who's only a few years older than I was when I got my license. And at the end of the conversation, I offered to help him whenever he needed and urged him to call me. And his instinctive response was, "Oh, I'd never do that. I'd at least text you first." Now, my response was this: if you take nothing else from our time together, it should be, when you get your license, use all the technology that you want, but never forget the fastest way to success is just to dial the phone number. So if you've fallen out of practice or never learned to use the phone in the first place, here are 5 things that you can do right now. Number 1, set an appointment with yourself. Some people call this time blocking, and it really is, but having an appointment that starts and stops at a specific time brings a more deliberate mindset to your efforts. Number 2, call friendly people first and then get progressively gutsier. This way you can build momentum without risking getting your feelings hurt. All right, number 3, when people answer, ask about them. People love to talk about themselves, so initially give them the chance. Then on number 4, tip number 4, is to keep the calls short and to save your ask for last. Your ask is, before you go, who do you know who's thinking about buying or selling a house in the near future? I mean, if you do this right, you just let them talk about themselves for a few minutes, so that alone earns you the right to ask what you need. Finally, the last tip I have for you is leave a voicemail. My favorite was, "Hey, this is Jason. I have a question for you about real estate. When you hear this, give me a call." These days, and that was it. That was the whole voicemail. Now, these days, it may be a while, even a week or 2 before people call you back, but you know what? They will call back, and that's the whole point. Seriously, guys, trust me on this one. Building your practice can be complicated, it can be technical and difficult, but it can also be simple, effective, and enjoyable. And that's always the direction in which I'll guide you, because living your top producer life should be simple and effective and mostly enjoyable. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Before you go, scroll down, let me know in the comments your biggest challenge to dialing the phone number. I'll chime in and I'll get you unstuck. Cool? Okay, go out there and have a great week, you guys. My name is Jason Edwards, and let's go think bigger.